On this video, I'm going to be sharing an update on my pregnancy journey, my pregnancy experience. So, thank God I'm on the other side. My baby girl is here. And I'm also going to be sharing my labor and delivery experience at the Women's Hospital, located, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I had her a week early, and it started with me just going to my last appointment. And from there, my blood pressure was kind of high, so that led to me being induced. And I had done research on being induced and stuff like that, but I honestly didn't. Prior to that, I didn't even know that being induced was something that you can just choose to do. I thought it always had to be a medical reason. So when my doctor, told me I have the option to get induced, each time, I told her I didn't want to because I just wanted my baby to come naturally on her own when she was ready, right? So that was the plan, for her to come naturally when she was ready. But I still had to be induced because, like I said, at that last appointment, my blood pressure was high. So that led to me being induced. I literally went from the doctor's office to the assessment center to a labor and delivery room. So all that happened. And then I had her the following next day. And throughout pregnancy, I had no trouble with blood pressure at all. At the very end, I started dealing with swelling and things like that. But for the most part, that was it. I did have some complications throughout pregnancy, but nothing that was like seriously affecting her or myself. So thank God for that. So like I said, I went to my last appointment. I went from the doctor's office to the assessment center to labor and delivery because my blood pressure was high. They was monitoring me for a few hours, and after that, it began to settle. But my doctor suggested me being induced. And like I say, I had done a little research on being induced, but I didn't plan for things to go that way. I just wanted her to come naturally. So when my doctor recommended it, I'm like, okay, let's go ahead on and do it. So, it's one of those things where even if you do your research, it's like you're not fully prepared because everybody's experience is different. My inducing experience, it began with the first thing they did, one of the first and the main things they did was, of course, they hooked me up and everything, monitor my baby's heartbeat all, night to the next day. That was all they did initially. After that, like the following next morning, the day she was born, my doctor came in and they were still checking my pressure and everything was fine by then. And she broke my water. So she pretty much had to go in and break my water bag. I wasn't in any pain. The pain that I was in, I was having a lot of contractions, the Braxton Hicks, it isn't any pain, it's just tightness, uncomfort. And for me, my baby girl, she was always balling up, like on my side in my ribs. So I felt more of that than any pain from contractions. Like, even when contractions started, I felt no pain. I got the epidural shot. I got that before she broke my water bag. So I got the shot, she broke my water bag. And honestly, my birthing experience, I felt no pain at all. Like, I was just completely numb below the waist. I felt no pain. I felt a little pressure when she was coming out, like her head and the rest of her body. But other than that, I thank God for a peaceful and safe delivery and overall experience, because so many women, have a bad experience. They feel everything. It's so much that comes with giving birth. No matter what, it's a risk. So I thank God that we're on the other side. But like I said, once I got the epidural, I felt no pain. Pushing definitely was a challenge because she was, my first child. So pushing was a challenge. And eventually, we got out of there. So, I just thank God for a healthy experience. And the flip side to that is my experience with my doctor honestly wasn't the best. Of course, I'm not going to say her name, but I feel like what I wanted or expected during my first pregnancy, I didn't get. I kind of just wanted a doctor to where we kind of formed some type of bond, some type of connection. You know, she just never seemed very passionate about children or delivering babies. You know, she just kind of seemed very routine, very, you know, just, I don't know, I can't really explain it, but the connection that I was looking for, a warning, I really didn't get. She was, you know, a nice lady, but I think I just wanted a little more. By me being a first-time mom, I wanted a more of a connection, you know, like her even asking me personal things, not personal like that, but just asking me things about myself, like what do I do, you know. It's like, it was almost as if my doctor was a complete stranger, even after 9 months of knowing her, seeing her, you know, like literally 9 months, and then in labor delivery room is almost as if a complete stranger is delivering your child. Like, that's how it felt for me. So no matter what, I thank God that my experience was good overall. My baby's here, she's healthy, I'm healthy, so that's what matters. But I didn't get that kind of connection I wanted throughout pregnancy. And even after I had her, the very next day, I didn't see or talk to my doctor at all. It pretty much was like after 6 p.m. when I finally did see a doctor. And that was very surprising because, you know, I never had a baby before, so I didn't know how it's supposed to go. But I definitely know that after a mother gives birth to her child, doctor's supposed to see her the next day. So my doctor, I never seen my doctor at all the next day. She ended up, you know, sending somebody. So I did see a doctor eventually, but it wasn't her. We never made a face-to-face connection. She didn't put her eyes on me, anything like that. So that side wasn't the best. You know, so I feel like a lot was taken from me throughout pregnancy. Not getting that full, intimate type of experience that I wanted or expected. So, you know, there's nothing I can do about that going forward other than to change doctors. You know, but I am grateful for her that she delivered my baby. You know, I'm healthy, she's healthy. So that's all that matters. But, you know, so I just wanted to share this experience for any new mother. You know, you're going through pregnancy, about to give birth. Everybody's stories and experience is different. But I can say that for me, the epidural worked. It helped. I didn't feel any pain at all. So I was so grateful for that, because you don't know what to expect when you're going into it, you know. Of course, if a mother isn't a first-time mom, you know what to expect because you've experienced it. But me being a first-time mom, not knowing what to expect, like I said, my experience wasn't the best, but I'm grateful that it turned out how it did. So ultimately, that's all that matters. But if you're a new mother and you have any questions or anything like that, just drop it in the comments. Going forward, you know, I'm gonna try to get back on here and push out as much content as I can. Of course, my hands are full, my baby girl. So yeah, I'm gonna be on here as much as I can. And as always, y'all be blessed. We'll talk soon.